I just was getting a lesson of like what this looks on my end when I'm doing a show and what it looks like on someone else's computer, which is kind of cool. We both got a countdown.
Yeah, we do.
I
And then before my camera goes on, it'll give another countdown and give me time to prep myself
dang.
or my paper.
Right. I also noticed on Leah's computer that the screen part that show it like it's so much bigger and brighter. What's up with that?
You have all these controls. You have your guest, your camera, your screen sharing, your media. Like you have a lot more tools. You can see what's going on here. That's right. And then you can see your comments there. Yeah.
I mean, I knew this over here. Anyway, hey, welcome to Thursday. It's Creative Unraveling with Leah and Jen. It's October 26th, and I'm excited.
Oh, ooh, what was that? Tell me more.
on what we're doing today. Leah gave me a hint last night, and I said it's probably a good thing we're not doing it late at night, and I'm not tired. Although last week that actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
it really lends to like our conversation yesterday. Like I was legit tired when we started last week. However, I became more motivated as I started taking action and getting into it and like actually had something to do versus like I had just been, I don't know what we had been doing.
We went for a run in that morning.
We did?
I think so. That was
last week we ran.
No, not last week. That was last Thursday.
Who's tired now?
Yeah.
Anyway, it just, I wasn't doing much and my body was like, and it's time for bed, which it really was time for bed. But it just goes, I just think it really lends to our conversation yesterday of motivation myth, and really motivation just comes from taking action.
Yeah. Taking little steps and it feels good and it builds your confidence.
Right. And speaking of motivation and taking little steps, what are we getting ready to do?
Oh, 100 days of expansion.
100 days of expansion. I love the sound of that. Don't you love the sound of that? Like, are you curious? Like 100 days of expansion.
Yeah. Do we talk about what it's about?
You can join us. You can totally join us. We're getting ready to take the
We're gonna wind Jen up.
Man. Maybe you should grab my drink. Yeah, I actually do. Thank you. Either of them. 100 Days of Expansion, where you get to join us. We're doing the challenge for ourselves, and we just thought it'd be really amazing to have you join along in this ending out 2023 in just really powerful ways, staying active and not busily, but just engaged in what we're creating and what we started creating at the beginning of this year, so that when we roll right on over into 2024, we already have a ton of action taking place and momentum into what's going to take place and be created in 2024. So
and we'll share some tips too on how to maintain some of those habits when life gets crazy around the holidays, with American
Does your life get crazy around the holidays? You know what I'm seeing already?
What?
It's kind of ticking me off, actually. Black Friday now sales.
Oh my gosh.
We were in a store yesterday and legit the sign said Black Friday now sales. I mean, thank you for the sales, but come on. But that's a topic for a whole nother day. But you can join us in 100 Days of Expansion. Guess what? You can join us for the low price of FREE. Free. This time. There's going to be a buddy system. There will be check-ins with like bi-weekly Zoom calls so that we can stay motivated together and share what's working, what's not, what we feel like isn't working. We're gonna celebrate crazily our successes. We're looking at get together at the end of the 100 days.
Like an in-person,
possibly in person, and possibly some sporadic, like join us on a Tuesday adventure if you want to come and be a part of that. So a lot of really good stuff, and we're opening it up free to you
next week.
Oh my gosh,
on Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, next Wednesday is November.
So there'll be a registration page just so you can get the link for the Zoom calls. And then we'll do the bi-weekly check-ins on Zoom and how it's going and what's working, what's not working. And it's a great way to just connect with community and support one another. And if you don't have a buddy yet, an accountability buddy, you can find someone there that's also on the same path. But.
Yeah, and really the accountability piece is just a way to get in the habit of checking in first with yourself and mostly with yourself, but just a quick share with someone else.
It's so funny. I used to have an accountability partner, and we would just share our wins for that day. And if you had one, like we'd share our wins for the day, but also what our 3 steps towards, our intentions are for the next day. And if you got one of those, that was considered a win. And sometimes you get like more than 3, but if you just get one thing off that intention list, like the 3 that you had put out there, then you celebrate each other. And it's a powerful practice. It definitely helps build momentum.
Right? I was like, what is on the screen? But it's your other camera.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are into future planning, what's ahead 9 months in my life? Is it 9 months? 8, 9, 10 months in your life? August. If those of you who are into planning your next August, river trip, surviving life and leadership, river adventure. Registration's open. It's a $500 deposit, and then you can pay it all at once, or you can do a couple of payments. But you want something that will change your life. That's another way to really understand, one, how fear works in your life, how disconnecting from all of this real life stuff and really connecting with real life stuff and the nature of nature and the nature of you, and how that boosts
things. We've been talking a lot about comfort lately and just listening to books and really studying comfort in our lives. And
you know what I love about it?
Growth comes from
is how that stuff is validating how I already feel and the things that I've experienced in my own world that we're creating for you. And there really is more value than, oh my gosh, this is a really incredible, fun experience. It's so much more beyond that.
Yeah, it's amazing. But it will definitely push your comfort zones and you just won't come back the same. And there's so much growth in doing the things that aren't comfortable. The
edges. I don't know how many times I said part of my intention of being on the river was to just really kind of push my edges and see what some of that is and what those edges were. And that was a pretty incredible experience.
Yeah.
I got my edges pushed.
So how about we get started?
Yes.
And we'll continue chatting about pushing our edges, and because this one will definitely push some edges in the teaching and experiencing of what this all looks like. So because Halloween is just next week, we're going to do a Halloween theme, but take some of the...
wear our skeletons.
I know. I was just thinking that we wore them yesterday.
True. If you want to do this in your skeletons, you can.
Yeah. So
whatever that is.
Well, and we can do it on Tuesday Adventure too.
Okay.
So what you're going to need for this painting, this is upside down.
How did I put it on upside down?
So watercolor paper, I'm just going to show you real quick. I just noticed that Jen's is upside down. So watercolor paper generally has like a coarse kind of texture too. And then a smooth side. You can paint on it, but
I had my smooth side up.
Yeah. So just for better like spreading and
and so it's really easy to tell. Like, hello.
So for this one, you'll need your watercolor paper, some watercolors, a pencil.
Hey, help a girl out.
Something round. I picked this. It's a baking cocoa container, just something round. This is going to be for your moon. You're going to want some tape.
Oh, I was going to use that. Okay.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Whether it's washi tape or painter's tape, And if it starts to pull up your paper, have a hair dryer on hand. I actually have one today, which is amazing. You'll need a Sharpie pen for this one as well.
What thickness of Sharpie pen?
Just like the pencil or fine.
What do you
fine
call
tip.
the other one? Bullet
Bullet tip.
Bullet tip.
That's a thicker Sharpie. I mean, you could use that too. I just like the finer ones. And you need an edge.
You know what I learned
card
today?
Works really well.
There is so many cute kinds of washi tape.
I know.
And why do they make it so cute?
I know. It's one of those things.
Okay.
It just invites you into the process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Oh,
fun.
sorry.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to my overhead and you guys can follow along. You'll have to invite me on screen.
Oh, yes.
So,
ready for your own countdown.
Why is it showing me like that? Oh, I switched my camera. That's funny. I wanted this one, and I showed a different one. Good job. Okay, I always forget that this is a little bit different size. Okay, so we're gonna start with our drawing. So I'm gonna put this is gonna be the moon. I'm using just a circle, taking my pencil and just tracing around for a moon in the background. I'm gonna pass this over to you so you have it as well. Oh no. So this is going to be a spooky scene. There's going to be two little characters in this picture
that aren't us.
But I'm going to just along the bottom here.
Oh, washi.
Create a bit of a. That's okay.
Oh, no, it's going to be. It's in the clouds.
Yeah, it's in the clouds. Just create just a line here so your characters have a place to stand and your trees are planted somewhere about. Just a small section of your page. So I'm going to draw a ghost and a jack-o'-lantern character. What? Okay. So ghost, I always just start
like approximately like size.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll just draw.
So I have my card here, so I'm going to make them about the size of the card. Is what I'm going to go with.
Yes.
We're gonna have trees here along the sides. I mean, you could do your trees wherever. It doesn't fine.
They're gonna be over my jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a jack-o'-lantern character and then a ghost. So this is my ghost, and he's gonna be holding like balloons. So I'm gonna do my ghost first. And then my jack-o'-lantern, which is just kind of an ovally circle type deal. And then he's going to have like the ghost vibe going on and little shoes. See? I'm making mine like an actual character guy that's walking.
Oh boy.
Make little eyes for my ghost. And I put my ghost arm up because he's going to be holding something. So a ghost is an upside down U. And then it kind of kicks out with some attitude. Make some lines, some wrinkly lines in the ghost dress.
I think I drew an elephant nose instead of a hand.
I love it.
Portions.
That's the joy of this, right?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It can't.
So I'm gonna take my Sharpie marker next when you're ready.
Well, okay.
Well, go ahead.
I was trying to decide whether or not to leave that, but I guess I am.
I don't have my eraser here, so I'm gonna go grab that.
Oh my gosh.
Make a little skeleton dude. the stem. These are just little details. You don't have to add them. Whatever feels good for you. We're sketching this in before so we know where to paint and where not to paint. Because with watercolors, you go from light to dark. And so our moon is going to be like bright yellows. Our ghost is going to stay pretty light colored. And then our pumpkin, we don't want to mix that with our background. Super cute. I love it.
It is what it is.
So I'm going to draw a couple bats in the moon with my Sharpie. Just because I don't want it to wash out.
How do you make bats?
So
you're just doing.
I make a V.
Gotcha.
And then I do like an M. And then a little head and ears. Yep. So then you want to go with your little M. And then like scoop it in.
Come down to it.
Yeah. A little head and some ears.
That's an M.
It's an M.
Okay.
I mean, that looks great too.
Because it doesn't look like an M.
I was just trying to do like the bat Scoopy, you know, how they have their wings that way. This bat is going to have his wings curved. I'm going to color this in with my black. Make another bat over here. There we go. That's pretty cool. Little head and some ears. He's so cute, little bats. The cool thing is you can always embellish your shapes because it's just a silhouette. So you can work with that. I'll elongate my wings a little bit, smooth that out, fill that in. Okay, so we got our pumpkin, our ghost, and I just thought it'd be kind of funny if the ghost was holding bat balloons. You don't have to do this. I just thought it was funny. So I'm making the bats be the ghost balloons.
OM something.
OM something.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So why not have some fun with this little bat thing? Little head and some ears. M shape. There. I like to do mine in odd numbers just because it helps catch attention in the eyes. Because we naturally
They're
look
going
for,
through his hand, right?
Yeah. We look for patterns and we like to divvy things up. So when you have odd numbers, our eyes don't tend to do that. It makes me giggle. I don't know why. I'm going to outline my ghost just because I'm probably not going to do too much painting on him and I want him to stand out. Gonna have little black shoes. My ghost has feet. Which is just like a little upside down U at the bottom. A little pumpkin character here. I could probably outline him too. There. So I'm curious what some Halloween plans are for our viewers out there. What do you like to take the kids out? Do you like going for scary, like the haunted house stuff? In Canada, we like to take the kids to the farms. What?
This one just got out of control. I think you ran into something.
There's a really cool farm in the city where I lived, and there's a corn maze, there's wagon rides, you can go pick out your own pumpkins. You can they have a petting zoo, they have like the little John Deere tricycle tractors, and like you can race around hay bales and stuff. So it's just fun stuff like that. You can trace your ghost if you'd like. I'm going to trace my pumpkin too, just so he stands out. I could do this after I paint him, but I think maybe it might just be easier to have that part done. The thing about these Sharpie markers is that they're great. They're water resistant, so they're not going to bleed into your painting.
Minus the one I'm using.
Oh, does that? I don't think that one does. Does it?
I don't know. It says permanent.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
I've not tried it.
Yeah, it shouldn't bleed. There. Just a little few embellishments. My ghost is gonna have no mouth. And then I can go in with my eraser and just take out some of the pencil lines that I had made and just clean it up a bit. You could do it.
I love how she's erasing while I'm tracing.
Well, why? What do you mean?
Well, let me tell you how that works.
I'm going to go around my circle a little bit to just lighten that line up so it's not so stark when I paint it with the lighter colors. There. But we're not even ready to paint yet, Jen.
What?
Yeah.
We have to do trees.
We're going to do trees this one. So I think you had another washi tape. Do you have it on your side? There we go. You can use washi tape for this. You can use, this is another type of tape. I'm not super confident in its water fastness, and I'm not super confident that it's going to stick. I will do
Why do you have it?
Because I thought it would work, but I think in other shows that we've done with Creative Unraveling, they have not stuck.
The washi tape is not, I need to push it harder, I guess, to the table.
Yeah. I had painter's tape somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. Okay, so for this part, we're just going to make some trees. So I'm going to make a tree close to the edge. And then you can tear off for branches, make it thinner. You can make a thicker tree. This tree is going to stay fairly.
You're coming all the way to the edge.
Yeah. And you're just making trees here.
Do you have thinner tape or did you tear that?
I tore it.
Oh.
I tore it sideways. I'm going to do this tree trunk a little bit thicker. And then if you joined us for our fall one that we did of the birch trees.
It was super fun. I actually really liked that one.
Yeah. Trees are so varied, like you just can't do this wrong. And it's just have fun with it.
You can, oh, my tearing skills are something to be desired.
So I'm going to make a tree over here as well, kind of on the edge. Yours could be behind, the pumpkin could be in front of the tree.
Yes.
I'm just going to tear this a little bit more so I get like the pointier part of the tree. It's going to be okay that it's going in front. And then I have a little branch here. It's going to veer off. He's so cute. There's another tree. This one might be more like a baby tree. Maybe a taller tree. There. And that's the branches going this way. Branches going the other way.
I love how you see it. I'm like, I just see tape. I'm like, what?
You mean how I see the trees?
Yeah, like what? Like I'm just gonna put a tape here, and that's gonna be a branch, and over here is gonna be a branch, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just
You say so?
tear tape in some semblance of branchiness.
Some semblance of branching. I love that. Branchiness. And trees they overlap. And they can be in all directions, like they're not straight. They just veer off, do their own thing. And we'll probably leave these trees naked too. In our birch tree one, we made leaves around it. But now we've lost most of our leaves. There's snow here in Idaho, which is amazing.
I know, it was snowing today. It made me so excited. This is actually the first time we've had snow here this year. Well, this fall.
How you feeling?
Nope, not feeling.
You not feeling?
Mm-mm. I don't want to stay down.
Here's another branch. You can put as many or as little trees as you want here. There's no wrong answer.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Are you telling me that or convincing yourself?
I think I'm convincing myself.
Okay. As long as we're clear. Okay. I think I'm good for my trees. I'm feeling good about that. How are you feeling, Jen?
I'm good.
Okay. You know what? I feel like I'm going to do one more. Just because, again, it's just going to be a long... No, I don't like that. Not a fan. There. Okay. Now I feel like I want branches. It's so funny. Take from that tree, take this branch. Okay. Good? Do you want to keep making trees? Or
I'm almost there.
Okay. I'm just going to push everything down because now we're going to start with the actual watercolor part. For those who are new to creative unraveling,
Welcome.
yes, welcome. And this is something we do to help calm the chatter and our inner perfectionism and try new things.
Well, she's talking about me.
I have not. I have my own.
No, this has actually been a really good practice for me to just recognize like what goes on in my mind as I like the perfectionism that still wants to hang on, and just really learning to hear that chatter and how it plays out for me, how it might stop me from doing some things or how it bullies me. And it's been an interesting experience just to move through it and to recognize that the more I do this, the less it's able to bully me, or it quiets down a little bit. Um, and sometimes I actually have fun. I mean, that's the realness of it.
Yeah. Well, and watercolor for me started during some times where I was super anxious. I was, quote unquote, clinically depressed. I was going through a lot of just life stuff, and I wasn't coping in healthy ways. And this she was an art therapist, and she just put some watercolors in front of me. I was really distraught after a meeting with my family, and
I love this story, by the way. It is just super cool.
And I remember just being super offended when she first put that stuff down. Like, this is kid stuff. Like,
because you were how old?
I was probably 14, 15.
Not a kid.
Yeah. But curiosity got the best of me. And I just.
Okay. Time out. I have a question.
Okay.
This, I don't know why this hasn't popped into my mind before. Did she put that down in front of you just because that's what she did? Or had you done stuff before that she's like, this kid might actually have some, like, there's a talent here that's not been, or did she just, it was just a way for her to give you an outlet?
I think it was more of an outlet.
Okay.
I hadn't really done a lot of work with her.
Okay.
At that time, but definitely.
Thank you to whoever you are, because
it was definitely an outlet. So I'm just taking some yellow, and I'm going to do my lightest things first. So I use this one if you want. And I'm just going to be really careful around my circle. It doesn't matter the trees, but I just want to maintain the roundness of the
You're going over the bats?
Yeah. You don't have to, but you can always go in after and darken them if you want, but kind of gives them an eeriness.
What did I even get that one?
Right. Gosh. So she put this stuff in front of me, and I just remember feeling super indignant and just not like, I wasn't having it. I was, experiencing some big life stuff, and how dare you minimize this to paints. And I just remember getting curious about just sticking my paintbrush in the water and watching how how it does. I don't know if you can see that, but it does this like cool shape stuff in there. And then just I remember blue was the first color that I picked up, and just seeing how that, spread across the page. And
why blue? Was there?
Blue's, I think, naturally a calming color. And I just kind of gravitated to it that day. So I just remember doing that and just really recognizing the chatter in my head just so slow down, like, and quiet. And I had been struggling for quite some time with that.
How? That's the piece that I find so interesting is, I have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I know there's more in there. Like for you, it calms your chatter. For me, like the bully, like really comes out.
Yeah, but is that? I think because I had in that moment, I was so upset. We had a family meeting or something, and it didn't go well, and I just, I don't know. For me, it was it didn't care what I was making, so there was no attachment to outcome. So I think that's why I could just be in that moment, and doing that thing. So what's that face, Jen?
Just looking. I mean, I'm getting to use different paper. We experimented with it last night. So different from what I have been using, and it's fascinating how it balloons the paint, and versus sometimes on mine it's almost like an oily effect, so it just like almost repels it instead of ballooning it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it depends. Like, just kind of experiment. Like, this is good paper. It's a little thinner than I like to typically use, so it will bow and bend a little bit. But I mean, for these, it's great. It gives you some, again, the ballooning, like it does that really well, so you can blend your colors better. So,
I didn't realize that's why we ballooned things.
well, if you
I just
do,
thought it was cool.
yeah, it is cool, and you can do like, so I'll put, see, I'm putting some yellow in here, but I know that there's orange nearby, so water will move and combine those colors and create some lightness in.
It will on yours,
Well,
not on mine.
if you put some water on it,
No,
it'll.
look, because I got trees in the way.
Well, it could be on the other side.
I'll just. We're good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's why I really this creative unraveling is really important to me, just because I've seen the effects of engaging in this activity, and how it's calmed my internal chatter. And once you get past some of that, and you've talked about this too, Jen, that you can enjoy the process instead of being in a judgmental space.
Yeah, it has become easier. I mean, it's not as intense. It's still there. Like even today, drawing this, I'm like, what the? But it has lessened, and I can sit with the project a little more, and I don't want to leave it as quickly.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, right? Like, it does push your edges, and
Well,
you know,
and
some buttons.
yeah, and sometimes I feel like I get bored with a project. Oh,
So,
and I think we talked about that in one room. Like sometimes that boredom is just like wanting to get away from it because
discomfort.
it's not turning out the way you want, or yeah, your brain is throwing things at you. The discomfort of that. Um.
So we got our pumpkin, we've got our ghost. I'll add some depth to him a little bit later. We're gonna do our background now. Once you're ready. And oh yeah, the stem. Forgot about that piece. Oops. Normally I have, that's okay. I'm just gonna leave that. It's gonna add character.
Oh yeah, what'd you do?
I just dropped a big
Big blob.
blob, but it'll just spread into the pumpkin. So I think part of it for me is people say all the time, like, I'm not creative, or one day I want to do a painting, or I'm not good at that, I'm not creative enough. And we can. It's like anything, it's showing up for practice and being willing to suck.
that the being willing to suck. I was just thinking about my little sister, hey Amber, who recently, last year about this time around Christmas, picked up watercolors, sat with my mom, and hi mom, and they did some watercolors, and I've watched. I love that she trusts me enough that she sends me her new artwork, and this thing she just did her first commissioned piece, and it's just been really fun to watch her go through the process, and how differently it feels like her mind works versus how mine, and we're from the same stinking family,
Right.
just how differently, like even in music, when we were singing and performing, I have, I don't know, it just feels like I have more. She's like, whatever, just had more confidence and stuff that way, and I had more perfectionism, things to have to work through in order to be okay with it. And it's just interesting to just watch how well people hold discomfort, or what they're able to hold discomfort in, because I can take her and do something and she could be super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But sitting down and doing this with her, I'd be like, ugh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna do the
Those are
background.
some interesting colors you just put on there.
So I made a black, some purple. I mixed a dark blue. What I'm actually going to do is just go with my wet brush and then put it down on the paper. So this gives me a little bit more control of where the background color goes. And it also gives you the fun ballooning and just watching how it mixes.
Are you going at the whole background?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to give your moon a little bit of a leeway, one, because it makes it glow, and two, so it won't mix. So if you have that bit of white around your moon, it'll pop more. It looks like my moon was still a little bit wet, but that's okay. I'm going to make this a little bit wetter just because I want
Wetter.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the the cake show we watched the other night.
Oh my gosh.
Wet mouth. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to go around my ghost and my character, not going too close to them. I can always go back in after if I want to get closer to them. But for right now, I don't want to be mixing my bright colors with my darker colors. So just, it's nice that the our water jar has a little bit of tint to it, because then I can see easily
Right where I'm at.
Where my stuff is going. Like this little section here is kind of tight, so I want to just pay attention to how close I'm getting. And then we'll go in with the darker colors. So purple and blues, kind of eerie for Halloween, and then just drop it in. It doesn't have to be uniform. The different depths that the darker tones that you put in places will just give it more character. I'm gonna add some purple.
Does not want to stay.
What doesn't want to stay?
The top of this page, probably because it got pulled up.
And probably even leave my characters their paint. I'm going to do a little bit darker around the moon just so it pops more. Be a spooky painting.
A what kind of painting?
Spooky.
Oh wow, that definitely is darker. Yeah.
But it's
That's cool how it like is taking off though around the.
Yeah. There. I'll go with a bit of a darker around my character and just let the water move the paint for me. So I just kind of go around them and let it just do its thing. I think that's what fascinates me about watercolors is how the water moves it. I know that's one of the biggest frustrations that people have with watercolors is it's harder to control, and there's definitely a learning curve. How much water to use, how much paint to put on your brush, things like that. But if you can allow yourself, like I think of you, how you notice the colors of things, or the sounds of this, or notice the little veins in the leaves, like how you take time to notice that. If you allow yourself to have that kind of curiosity in this process,
which is fascinating because it's more challenging here for me than it is like out in nature. Maybe it's because I haven't created nature. I just get to observe its majesty and wonder, and
yeah,
and I love that reminder, like, hey, you're creating this and its majesty and wonder,
right?
Like, take time to, was that?
I don't know.
But ding,
ding. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a bit of a darker color for my grass area, and just like a mucky green, but I didn't clean my brush, so it's got some blue tones in it. I'm gonna let it be okay that it gets on my ghost. I did this one.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is that one green too?
Yeah, that's
I'm
green.
gonna go that one.
So, and it's just really have fun with it. Let it just be. Oh, we can do.
I love that you use the word mucky. I'm just gonna let it be mucky.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how it feels sometimes. And sometimes that's how life is. It's just mucky.
So,
And you're using salt.
yeah. So my background is still wet. Salt gives it a
Did
really
you
cool-
wet your ground?
No,
Whoops.
I just did it with my paintbrush.
Okay.
So I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Salt in watercolors gives like really neat effects. And I thought, why not for a spooky painting? We'll add some salt to it.
You can dabble some salt on mine or pass some this way. Thank you.
Oh, I like that.
Whoops. I have a spot there where I can't quite get between the, because I got them pretty close.
Do the detail brush.
Oh,
And you can just
imagine that.
just spread what you even have there.
Oh, well, it's touching, but okay.
That's fun. Oh, I was going to do some oops, that was messy. So I'm going to put more
He's
water
tickling. I just touched his armpit.
on my brush. And I'm just going to put, I want this to be light for my ghost, so he still looks white. But just go around his edges. It'll give the impression of creases in his ghostly outfit.
You're doing what?
Some dimension.
Oh, you're just using the water?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm behind.
You're never behind.
Did you hear that? She said I'm never behind.
You're
This is the
exactly
nicest
where you
thing
need
you've
to
said to
be.
me today.
As if.
Okay,
So
that's not true.
Look, it's doing it.
I was saying, look at what it just did to mine, and I barely put any on. That's super cool.
Oh, it is super fun.
Wow.
I love it. Throw it behind you. All the good stuff.
Oh, that was salty.
Yeah. I want to give it a second to dry.
Note to self: don't reuse washi tape.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's not
liking this table.
Is yours not sticking either?
No,
Okay.
it's if you look at it here, it's wanting to pull up as well.
Okay, so it's not just.
No, there are boards I usually use. They're like for sale signs that you have at like the dollar store, for example. And you can just use the back of one of those, and they're smooth, and they usually like to hold a little bit better.
Gotcha.
So, oh, I love it. See the bats still come out.
Yeah. No, I actually like the effect that gives them because they almost glow.
Yeah. I want to hair dry it before we pull off the tape. Or will it work? I don't know. There's parts of me that are nervous because it's still wet, but I think it's actually going to work. Okay. So I'm starting to pull off some of my tree tape. And if some of the paint gets on the trees, that's just going to be okay. Because that's part of this whole process. See, and when I'm pulling up.
Okay, I'm actually really liking what's coming out right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how yours has purple. Like we use the same paint. You must have dipped more in purple.
Yeah, I probably did. You know, it's funny. I just start doing stuff and I don't realize what I'm doing. I just get into a doing.
Huh.
And I think that's the part where
we have been talking about that a little bit.
Yeah.
About being in the doing of things, but also in your body.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what issue I have coming on right now?
What?
Is my trees are over my washi tape. Oh, you're taking your trees off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the next step.
Okay, I pulled the wrong thing off.
So,
But I guess that's okay because it wasn't sticking anyway.
let's see how it makes the tree stick out. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, because then we'll take over this moon is going to be interesting. Just because I don't want to get the paint.
Oh,
Did it pull? I
tore
have a
it.
hair dryer, and if your tape is sticking, you can definitely use a hair dryer to help pull that up so it doesn't rip your paper. Okay, so for this next part, if you have a card, that will work fine. Or if you have like a little palette knife, just a flat edge. And I'm just going to dip it in my paint, and then I'm going to go on the edge and pull over. There is no wrong way to do this. Just go to your edge and pull over. I could probably make that.
And for those of you that are still pulling up your paint, or your tape, it's totally okay. Just hang in there.
Yeah, just hang in there. You're doing great. Am I going too fast? This is part of the learning process for myself as well. So if that's a thing, it's good to know.
Oh,
that's so exciting. And we've got a commission.
Yeah, and it's really cute. It's a lot of like native elements, and I think it's got an owl in it and feathers, and it really was cool. Hey Amber, if you see this, do you mind posting it in our Righteous Rebel art gallery?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Jen. We have the art gallery on the Righteous Rebels group on Facebook.
Dang.
And
I got some struggles going.
It's a place to share your art and share whatever it is you're creating.
I'm gonna have to dab.
Yeah, well, and dabbing will give some fun textures too.
It's just going to end up really in my. It's not what I want to do, but.
Yeah, and that's a place that we can celebrate what you're creating. We've had some people post about food that they've made or things that they've knitted. I think of Jen Lake, is it?
Oh yeah, she
made a llama, a stuffy llama.
Crocheted something.
Yeah, I'm like, holy smokes! And it's
super cute.
Yeah, it's a cool way for us for you to practice sharing things that you're creating. And
it's like show and tell in kindergarten. Yeah. Nobody cares. We just celebrate.
Well, and I don't think we take the time to really celebrate what we're creating. And it's important to be creating. It's a way to express yourself and to connect with community.
Is it Kelly that just put her painting of like a gnome or like some cute mushroom or something in there?
Yeah. Oh, did she post it there?
I think so.
Kelly, shout out to Kelly if you're watching this. It's been so awesome to see your painting journey in the last couple of years, and I love how you shared the commission pieces that have come out of that, and it's really been fun to just see your art evolve, and we've had some really great conversations around real art and what it means to be an artist, and just the fact that you're doing the thing makes you an artist. Like, you don't need to go to school. You just need to be doing the thing. I am
an artist.
Yes, absolutely. It's so funny. I say that, but I was definitely someone that struggled a lot with calling myself that. So I would call myself, instead of an artist, a master experimenter. and just.
Well, I met a woman in Victor, Idaho. Her name right at this moment is escaping me. Say is her last name. Anyway, I saw her art, and it's now hanging in my house. The first piece that she created, that she said, I did this piece before I could even call myself an artist. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's so gorgeous. And just interesting how, she was telling us a story of that and how she painted this piece and wanting to do art and wasn't sure that she could even call herself that, but it's absolutely incredible. And
Is it the fox
it's
one?
the fox.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so gorgeous.
Yeah. And I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but you know what? Because Leah just said I could call myself one, I'm going to say that.
Yeah. You're doing the thing. I mean, what exactly quantifies an art? Is it when you sell a piece? Is it, is it that you're...
You know what? Here's
What?
actually what I think. I think we're all artists because we're creating and building what's in our lives, like what our lives look like, and we actually have a lot of say in that more than we think we do.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest part.
Whoa, those are
We get to constantly create.
funky. Did
Oh,
someone
I
just say
love
that?
it. Huh. Very cool. I love it. All right, how are you feeling, Jen?
Good. Like I actually like this part because I can't really mess it up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's gonna kind of do what it's gonna do.
So
On
what we
its
do
own?
is just like get a little puddle of paint here. I don't know if I showed that piece, and then just scrape it across. There's no, they're just birch trees. There's no wrong answer.
I like this part of it because it just I don't know, I don't feel like I can mess it up. And I kind of have a deal with like messing things up. That's why I don't mess around with my computer too much because I don't want to mess with something I can't fix.
Right.
I can feel the salt as I do this.
Oh yeah. It's so cool. I'm gonna pull mine up just to show kind of the effect the salt gives it. So it was just a wet page and we sprinkled some salt on. But it just gives it such a neat texture. You can also get fun textures if you use paper towel.
I needed to do this pumpkin differently so that it looked like the tree was in front of it and not. I needed to not put the face on first.
You can, once it dries, you can do like with your Sharpie. It could be just part of the tree bark, or it could just be a really cool pumpkin that's pressing himself through the tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
He's
right
a ghost pumpkin.
Mm-hmm. He is a ghost pumpkin.
Yeah, I love. It's such a simple thing, but going in with the wet, rinsed out brush gives it it depth.
I like the texture of this paper and how it pulls the shape of the tree branches like that.
Right.
It's kind of cool. It gives it that kind of like really linen-y.
I love it. So cool. This one was super fun. I
Wow.
very much enjoyed this one.
Yeah, thank you for finding that. When
so
she
fun.
told me about it yesterday, she's like, "Oh, I found yesterday's or tomorrow's thing, and it's going to be so fun." And she told me about it. I was like, "Oh, sweet."
I showed Jen my notes this morning, because
was that this morning?
Yeah, just taking some time to plan out like the steps because if you do the moon, last, it can mix with your background and you got to draw your characters.
Or had I thought about this, I would have waited to do my pumpkin, to outline him,
right?
Because then I could have. But as it is, it's kind of a funky effect. Yeah. Okay, let me pull it up and I can show you. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you. And I didn't feel like I had a lot of I had some come up with the drawing of it, and my bats look like they really. They look like they ran into a ceiling fan, really. But I'm okay with that because they're still flying.
They're flying.
And I don't know, maybe they got the helium sucked out of them.
Why you think they look like they're flattened?
They're just
this one looks.
They're just a little misshapen. Okay.
He's just bending his wings, Jen.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, but I really like the effect that the salt did. This one makes me happy.
I love it. Ta-da!
Ah, check it out.
I know. Look what you did.
I could sell this one.
Yeah, there you go.
Someone want to make me our professional artist? Look how different they look though. Like, and they look so much how like through the camera lens they look. Dang,
Cool. Good job.
that was fun.
Yeah. I love how
Can you
bright your moon is.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Can you guys see like the pumpkin through the tree? Ooh, the trees have the face.
Yeah, it gives
on it.
it like a 3D effect. It's cool. I love
love
it.
I do too. That was fun.
Super
Thank you.
fun.
Would love to hear your thoughts actually on whether you're doing this painting or you've done something else or you're doing your own stuff. I would love to hear the mind shiz that rattles around in your brain and how you talk it out. I would love to hear you talk it out. I just noticed that for myself, the talking it out has made such a difference of just how I'm like, see now I'm like, ooh, I could have extended that one. I'm not doing that. But what that process is for you and whether it's with art or it's with other things, like how does
Cooking
your
for some people,
right?
it's a
How does your
huge
own
thing.
perfectionism sometimes stop you or bully you or keep you from really appreciating the process or keep you from letting things just really like surrendering and allowing things to unravel
I think
as
for
they
me,
should be?
writing is where my inner bully comes out.
Right now, yeah, I'm supposed to be in the process of writing a book and I don't feel like I'm being bullied, but there definitely is something.
Yeah.
It'll happen. I'm not concerned, but this was a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So again, if you participated today or if you watched another video or whatever you're creating in your world, maybe it's a retreat, Luba. You can post the amazing things you've made on Canva in the art gallery.
There you go. There you go.
Direct poke at Luba. Which we're going to be at her retreat in a couple weeks. So that's pretty exciting. Women empowering women.
Yeah, I'm excited to go teach. I'm excited to go learn.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Just assist Luba in her awesomeness.
Yeah. That's been a beautiful creative journey. So it could be whatever you're creating. It could be, a talk or whatever. It's just a way to share your work and just, say, here, I'm creating this and let us celebrate you. So that will be on the Righteous Rebels Facebook page. So hit the button.
Yeah, if you haven't joined the Righteous Rebels Facebook group, not the page.
Oh, right.
There is a page. We don't post much there.
No.
In fact, we post nothing there. So you'll want to go to the Righteous Rebels Facebook group, hit the join button, and we'll let you in, and we just add your magic, whether sharing something in your day or responding to some of the other posts that we put on. We'll have Monday Mojo is a consistent theme. We do Tuesday Adventures.
Yep.
On Wednesdays, we do our live and unscripted podcast show. We do this Creative Unraveling on Thursdays, and Fridays just it's a Hand Up Friday, which is really just a lending of our energy or your energy to someone who could just use a hand up, not necessarily hand out, but just a hand up. They're doing a really good job, can just use that little extra bit of energy. So I think that's it for now.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining us. And until next time,
be bold, be brave,
and be a rebel.
We'll see you soon.